Hello everyone and welcome to my free-to-play Rares Only Plus challenge. In this series I'll be progressing through the game using only rares, uncommon, and common champions, plus any champion who is free and permanently accessible to all players. So with that out of the way, let's dive in. Nearly every Doom Tower boss will require you to build a specialized team designed specifically to counter their mechanics. The Scarab King is no exception. The most effective way to counter this boss is to make sure all of your champions are under a shield buff each time they attack, and to turn meter control the boss. And if you have a champion who can destroy enemy max HP when they deal damage, that's definitely a plus. But if not, you can gear one of your champions in a 4-piece destroy set, which can be farmed in the Dragon's Lair. Because this account is still pretty new, unfortunately, I do not have enough destroy gear to get any of my champions into a 4-piece set and still have a build strong enough for them to do their primary job. This dilemma will remedy itself in time though, so it's only a minor setback. You do not need to destroy his max HP, however, doing so will greatly reduce the time it takes to defeat the boss. If your account is advanced enough that you can equip all of your champions in at least one blood shield accessory, then do so, as it will make the entire team easier to assemble. If you don't, worry not, for there are other ways to maintain a shield on all of your champions for each of their attacks. The easiest way to achieve this, other than having blood shield accessories on everyone, is to have a champion who can place a shield whose duration lasts as long as the cooldown of the skill that places it. Examples of such champions are Lnathril on his A2, Valkyrie on her A2, Lodric Falconheart on his A3, Miscreated Monster on his A2, and Metal Shaper on his A2. If you do not have one of these champions or blood shield accessories, you'll either need to bring 2 shield champions or 1 shield champion and another champion who can extend the duration of buffs to keep the shield up longer. If you have a shield champion but don't have a champion who can extend the duration of all buffs, Valerie can be farmed from stage 1 of campaign. She can fill this role perfectly for you. The team I'll be showcasing in this guide is composed of the following champions: Haikatun, the 30-day login reward champion, her speed aura, her turn meter boost, as well as the increased speed buff, the decreased speed debuff on her A1, as well as her turn meter reduction, makes her a powerhouse carry for not only this boss, but nearly every other piece of content in this game. If you do not have her built, or another speed champion with comparable skills built, do yourself a favor and build her. She's an extremely powerful champion and she will carry you through tons of content in Raid. If you plan to follow my progression in this series, you will see her in 99% of my guides. She's just that good. Next we have Metal Shaper, our shield champion. His 2-turn shield on a 2-turn cooldown is what makes this team work. Without it, we die to the boss every time. Next, I'll be bringing 2 Armigers. Their A1 turn meter reduction, with the help of Haikatun's speed buff, turn meter boost, and speed aura, and decreased speed A1 are going to be what prevents the boss from ever attacking. Don't let his rarity fool you. This uncommon is among the best turn meter control champions in the game. Then finally, for my wave clear champion, I'm using Shield Guard, but you could use anybody for this role. If you don't have a champion who can place a shield, the duration of which lasts as long as the cooldown of the skill which places it, and you're using a buff extender instead, this is the slot your shield buff extender fits into. This will make for a much longer run, but it's kind of your only option here. Now let's go over the builds. It's important that your shield champion is the fastest on your team. My Haikatun is in some of the fastest gear on my account, so in order to get my Metal Shaper faster than my Haikatun, I put my Haikatun's chest piece and her boots on my Metal Shaper, and give her a pair of 4-star boots instead, and remove her banner. After these changes, my Haikatun is now 201 speed, and my Metal Shaper is 212. If you're using Metal Shaper, make sure he's at least 5 speed faster than your Haikatun. Her 19% speed aura grants herself about 20 speed, while only granting Metal Shaper about 17, as his base speed is 14 lower than hers. Now for the Armigers. It's important to make sure each Armiger has 100% crit rate. If he doesn't crit, he doesn't reduce the turn meter. Also, you want to make sure he has plenty of accuracy so his turn meter reduction doesn't get resisted. For this level, you only need 50 to 75, but as you ascend higher levels, the requirements go up. Stage 100 normal, for example, you'll need about 125 accuracy. Armigers need plenty of speed as well, otherwise they aren't taking enough turns for the turn meter reduction to be useful to the fight. My first Armiger is geared with 179 speed, and the second has 177. This should be plenty of speed to beat each Scarab King level in Doom Tower normal. As we go through this fight, you're going to see me manualing the waves because my Armigers and Metal Shapers are low enough level that if they get attacked by the enemies, they will likely die, so in order to prevent that from happening, I'm going to have to take the wheel to ensure we don't get attacked. However, when we get to the boss, it should be full auto. We've got Haikatoon's priority set. She's opening with her turn meter reduction, and then prioritizing her turn meter boost. And then Metal Shaper has his shield set as his #1 priority. And then obviously Armigers, the first time I did this, I turned off their lay to rest skill, but as I was watching the fight unfold, the Scarab King's turn meter hardly ever got above like 10 or 20%, so this time I'm going to try and see what happens if I allow them to use their A2. Hopefully it'll speed up the run and do a little bit more damage. Then for my Shield Guard, because his A2 gives him a turn meter boost, it is imperative that I turn this skill off, otherwise he'll boost his own turn meter until he gets ahead of Metal Shaper and Metal Shaper's shield, and doing so will cause the run to fail. If you have a damage dealer who has any sort of turn meter steal or self turn meter boosts, make sure they are not using those skills, as doing so will cause them to fail the run, assuming you're using a shield champion strategy. If all of your champions are in blood shield accessories, it's not an issue. Alright, let's jump right into the fight. Okay, now for the boss. I'm going to go ahead and just hit auto because I did the setup ahead of time. You'll see Metal Shaper puts up the shield, Haikatoon puts the turn meter down, Shield Guard assisting Haikatoon with the decreased speed by placing the small version, which gives her a little bit more time. And there's the big version from Haikatoon. Now our Armiger should have no issue keeping that turn meter down. It's an unlucky resist, but I think we'll still be okay, maybe? Yeah, we're good. Especially with that turn meter boost, the increased speed, all of it. Just Haikatoon is just such a powerful support champion. And she's helping a little bit with turn meter reduction too. We're just going to fast forward to the end, because last time this took me about 15 minutes, so I'll see you on the other side. No. Whew, I got a little nervous there. Those Armigers decided they wanted to try to finish off the boss by using their A2 instead of just reducing the turn meter with their A1. I'll be honest, I was clinched pretty tight. That was just an experiment. You might want to actually set your Armigers to have their A2 turned off so you don't encounter such a problem yourself. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you found this guide helpful. If you did, consider leaving a like on the video. Doing so will help other players like yourself find this guide in the future. And if you'd like to keep tabs on this series and my progression on the free-to-play Rares Only Plus challenge, be sure to subscribe. I upload updates on my progression every week, and as I progress further into the game, I'll be doing more guides like this one. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in another video soon, but until next time, happy raiding.